Oh, I,
Gather around, friends, as I tell you the story of the Nancy Drew game that took me 13 years to solve, and its bonkers conclusion that I am still processing all these years later. Obviously, the story contains spoilers, so if you haven't played the gem of a game, that is The Haunting of Castle Malloy, and you want to solve it for yourself, you should probably leave. Before we begin discussing the game itself, allow me to give you some backstory. In 2008, Her Interactive released their 19th installment of the Nancy Drew mystery series. The title was The Haunting of Castle Malloy. I was an 8-year-old dyslexic at the time, and during this era of my life, Nancy Drew was more of my older sister's thing. So I was more of an observer who primarily watched the cutscenes because what 8-year-old has the attention span to watch someone else wander around a castle and spend 30 minutes on a puzzle they won't accept your help on? Flash forward a couple of years, and despite my dyslexia, I have become a stronger reader and have decided now is the time to play the game for myself. Unfortunately, I got stuck on a puzzle and was advised by my parents to take a quick break as I was incredibly livid. The break ended up lasting several years until I ended up forgetting the game and losing the CD. The Haunting of Castle Malloy ended up as nothing more than a distant memory of, remember that time we were a bartender in Ireland? What was the deal with all those sheep? I wonder why Ned was acting so weird on the phone in that one game. Spoiler alert, we never actually figure out why, and his pool party story arc goes absolutely nowhere, so the plotline is still something that drives me crazy about this game. So flash forward, I am now a grown-up adult contemplating important things like, I wonder what caused the fiancé's disappearance, and I wish I still had that game, until one day I realized, wait, I'm an adult with adult money. I can buy that game, and buy it I did, my friends. I played that game like my life depended on it, exploring those crumbling castle walls and interrogating suspects who had taken my friend Kyler's boo away. Was it the jealous best friend who was also secretly in love with the bride? Was it the creepy caretaker who hates the British? Maybe it was the best man who got out of there real fast after the disappearance. Was it fairies? Heck, was it Kyler herself? I don't know, man. She's got that look in her eyes. All of these possibilities presented themselves to me, but no, none of these added up, so I was left with only one option. But it couldn't be. The Nancy Drew games never canonized the paranormal. They wouldn't make it the Banshee. Would they? Would they? The ending begins when you are exploring an old shack in the bog and are pushed down a trapdoor by a random old lady who finds you there. You end up in an underground bunker that is actually a laboratory where you find Matt, the groom. He's been chilling down there for a few days because he also fell through a trapdoor and couldn't get out. It's okay though, because the previously mentioned old woman has been throwing down raw vegetables for him to eat, so he's fine. Anyways, the endgame puzzle is precariously organizing elements into 3 sections, and if you are the least bit off, it will result in a fatal error screen because you accidentally blew up the entire base. This is not where I spent the majority of my gameplay, and I don't like the implications you're making. Don't look at me like that. After that, you build a rocket, because there's also a rocket down there, and you launch it through the ceiling to alert everyone where you are. Kyler finds you and gets a ladder, and yay, the wedding can go on. Turns out the Banshee was just the previously mentioned old woman in a jetpack. There were also jetpacks in this game. It was great, and I did not explode multiple times trying to figure out how to operate it. The old woman's name is Fiona, and they find out she's actually some kind of prodigy like her dad. Her dad, who was the one who was responsible for all the science fiction stuff going on in the castle. And the caretaker visits her, and he finally has someone he isn't a total jerk to, so that's nice. Kyler and Matt get married, whatever. Kit flirts with some chick on staff. Nancy flies home to the States, and we never figure out why Ned was working on the phone. The end. I just want to make one thing clear. I am by no means a hater of this game or mad at the ending or anything. Playing it back, you can definitely see how they sowed the seeds to put this ending together by hinting at Fiona's existence and regularly bringing up the fact that her father owned the castle and was some kind of inventor, and seeing his work all around. I genuinely think my fixation on this ending is that I waited 13 years to figure this out. Okay, that's all I have to say about this. I don't know what the point of the video was, I just needed to get this out of my system. This video was inspired by a Pushing Up Roses video that she did a few years ago, discussing the bizarre conclusion of another Nancy Drew title, The Curse of Blackmore Manor. The link will be in the description if anyone wants to check that out. What other Nancy Drew games do you think had weird endings / resolutions? Let me know in the comments because this was a lot of fun to script. Bye!